Scott Wilson.
Good evening, Honorable Co-Chairs and Vice Chairs of the Judiciary Committee. My name is Scott Wilson. I am the current and actually only president of and a founding member of the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. We are, as you may have heard already, a Second Amendment rights organization serving the gun owners of the state. I am testifying on two bills today, SB1094 and SB1210. And a question was asked earlier of my vice president back there, Lenny Benedetto, whether or not we received any emails that were in opposition to our organization's position on 1094. And not only did we not hear any opposition from our members, we also received numerous requests from members to, support us. Please do your best. Thank you very much. And a number of members also who could not be here today requested that we print out copies of their testimony to be delivered here today. We did not advertise that we were looking to do that, but we were requested to do so. And one of our executive members over there actually ran his printer, or actually our printer, late until the night to make sure we could deliver as many copies as possible for you folks up here. Anyways, SB 1094, an act banning large capacity magazines. I oppose this. Aside from the constitutionality of the bill, if passed, would also be an affront to the law-abiding, tax-paying citizens of this state. Now, I'd like to set forth an example here. Two recent incidents in my hometown of New London, just to illustrate the legitimacy of magazines containing over 10 rounds. On October 29th, 2010, a gentleman named Matthew Chu was walking home from his job. He was attacked, beaten, and stabbed to death by a group of 6 individuals. Now, and also on January 16th of this year, in the same town, my hometown, Bill Dumas was attacked walking to his car from a coffee shop. He was a piano player at the coffee shop. He was attacked by a gang of at least 7 individuals. In this case, after being hit on the head with an object, the victim managed to barely escape into a pub on State Street in London. The victim had to physically hold the door shut while the attackers tried to pry the door open to come in after him. And my source on that is the One Day, which is a newspaper in my town. Though neither of these individuals carried firearms, these incidents do point to the fact that no one can be certain when or in what form a violent and potentially life-threatening attack may come. Upstanding law-abiding citizens of this state should be allowed to decide not only whether or not to carry a firearm in the first place, but also what is an appropriate number of rounds to carry. One of the last things a law-abiding citizen wants, while minding their own business, is to face a potentially life-threatening situation. Elected officials voting yea or nay on this issue most likely will never even face an attack of this type. And with that in mind, I would like to also express my support for Senate Bill 1210. Any legislation giving proper benefit of doubt to the law-abiding citizen is a good thing. I also feel that the language should be strengthened to protect citizens who use deadly force from civil penalties. Keep in mind that anyone who uses deadly force to defend themselves will more than likely have plenty of other personal matters to deal with afterwards. I thank this committee for careful consideration of my testimony, and I would like to add to refute one tidbit that came out from the gentleman from Connecticut against gun violence earlier. In Columbine, there were 2 shooters. The first shooter had 13 10-round magazines, the kind that this ban is seeking to impose on residents of the state, and the other shooter had a 52-round magazine, a 32-round magazine, a 28-round magazine. That gentleman with the so-called higher capacity magazines got off 55 shots, most of which came from the 52-round magazine. The second individual got off 96 rounds with those 10-round magazines, so he not quite doubled the amount of rounds from the other shooter. So again, thank you for hearing my testimony, and I'll entertain any questions.
Are there questions? Senator Gomes.
Thanks for sticking around. I didn't get what your organization was.
The name of our organization is the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. We formed in February 2009. There was some questions to my vice president earlier about why and what was the reason that we formed, and one of the reasons was the fact that Connecticut also was starting to pass anti-gun legislation. My particular prime mover for wanting to get involved with the firearms issue was the Lost and Stolen bill. It was, to my knowledge, that for the first time that if somebody had their firearms stolen by somebody else and didn't report them missing within a 72-hour period, that they could be labeled a criminal. And to me, once that piece of legislation passed into law, I was astounded, and I felt as though I personally had to do something, and the other founding members of our organization felt the same way regarding that topic or other firearms-related issues.
Could I ask what is the basic function of your organization?
Our basic function is to stand up to protect the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of this state, and we do so through a number of means. We were also a political launching pad for candidates for office that are pro-Second Amendment. We've given them a venue and a platform to announce their campaigns and speak on behalf of Second Amendment rights. We also assist people in the pistol permit process in Connecticut. There's been a number of bills heard in public safety, which I've testified on this year, that there's a lot of issues with law-abiding citizens having a very difficult time obtaining a pistol permit, and they're being denied arbitrarily for no good reason in many instances. In some instances, they may have valid reasons to be denied, but we assist them through the process of trying to file their appeal and give them the information that they need to be able to help them through that process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there other questions? Representative Sampson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Scott, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for your patience today. I know
My
that
pleasure.
you had quite a few members of CCDL show up today, and I just want to thank you and the rest of them for coming out to help preserve our Second Amendment rights.
Thank you.
It's very much appreciated, not just by myself, but I'm sure a lot of people watching at home. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Rep.
Other members have questions? Seeing none, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.